to another edition of the StudentFyre podcast, live from the SpeakFyre studio. My name is Bobby Berg. I'm a motivational speaker for schools, and I am here to help you live your best life today. What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of the one, the only StudentFyre podcast, powered by SpeakFyre.com. I'm your host, Bobby Berg. How are you? No, really, let's do this. You know we do this every single Monday. Let's start your Monday off right. For those of you that are checking this out at 4 in the morning, the 4 people that check this out every Monday morning at 4 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, thank you, because y'all the real MVP. But really, start your day off right here. How are you doing? It's 4 a.m. or whatever time you're checking this out at. If you're driving, if you're on your way to school, if you're checking this out before your Zoom call for class, whatever it is. How are you doing? Because I'll be honest, I'm doing really, really well this week, and it took a lot to actually say that out loud. A lot of my students that I'm coaching have trouble getting to that point. As a lot of you know, I work with at-risk students. I come in when schools say, hey, we don't really know what to do with this kid anymore. We're at our wit's end. I don't know how to connect with them. And I say, cool, let me take that job from you. Let me work with them one-on-one, and let me see if I can help get to the point of why they're acting the way they are. And I want to do this with you right now. Why are you where you are? However you just said how you're feeling, that's cool. Be it good, bad, indifferent, awful, terrible, in despair, fantastic, over the moon. You can't even anymore. You need a pumpkin spice latte drip. You can't even. Whatever it is, I want to know how you're feeling. So take 5 seconds right now, and I want you to honestly do a check-in with yourself and say how you're feeling out loud. See, that wasn't that bad. That wasn't that bad, right? Now, I want to go over 3 steps for you this week. 3 things that I want you to do when you're having an issue. One of my students this week, or last week even, was having a lot of trouble because they just started school and they're doing everything virtually, and that's awesome. But what they did is she noticed that she's being bullied a lot in the chats. Because let's be honest, this isn't what everyone thinks it is, where you're on a Zoom call for X amount of hours a day and you're completely focused and engaged and right there, right? You're not. What are you doing? Most of these kids have Discord open. Why? Because you enjoy Discord. So what are you doing? You're talking to your buddies. You're trying to chat about what's going on in class. You're trying to really get some information out of each other to make sure you can handle what's going on. So this girl had a really rough day, and I don't just mean a rough day. I mean a absolutely awful day, because people in her class were bullying her. They were saying in the chat how, man, I can't believe you were asking this stupid question. Wow, do you remember last year when you thought you were smart and you couldn't really make it? Wow, you are really slow to be asking these questions that we learned last year. Were just some of the things that the kids were saying to her. And during our check-in, she goes, Bobby, I'm upset. I'm not just kind of mad. I'm really in my core angry that my friends, these people that I really hold close and that I got their back and I thought had my back, would say this about me, dude. And I said, all right, let's, how are we going to figure this out? And of course, because she doesn't like opening up about things, something she'll do is use music as a tool to deflect negative emotions. So instantly when I said, hey, so let's dive a little deeper on this, she goes, oh, yo, hey, I was on TikTok the other day. Anybody heard W.A.P yet? And of course, I'm not going to say y'all have heard it. Y'all know what the song's about. And let's be honest, that song slaps on a level that it really didn't need to. And it's just, oh, I love it. Anyway, I said, all right, you want to play this game? Let's play this game. And she goes, what do you mean? I said, well, so I know what you're doing. You're avoiding talking about this. You don't want to admit how you're feeling. You don't want to admit that you're angry and you're upset and you really just want to throw hands with these kids, right? She got real quiet. You ever get that when someone really strikes a chord with you, and instead of saying yes or no or really clapping back to whatever they said, you just go, mm-hmm. That's exactly what she did. I said, all right, let's take W.A.P, for instance. Let's make an acronym out of that. How are we going to work through this? And she goes, I'm so angry. Bobby, I don't want to do this, man. I said, I understand you don't want to do this, but I don't really care if you want right now. Your wants are not what we're going over an hour before class starts. I want you to have a better day today. I want you to have a better day every day. So I want to give you a tool to fix this. And I said, you brought up that new song, so let's take W.A.P. W.A.P. Let's work on that. How do we overcome this? And she goes, I don't know, man. I said, yes, you do. Yes, you do. So you're upset. Something bad happened. Your friends are making fun of you. What's something you can do to really acknowledge, you personally, what can you do to acknowledge that this awful situation or the situation that you don't like happened? And she just goes, man, and I said, don't you wish things were a little bit different? She goes, yeah, I really do. Because I had a great morning before we got on this call. And, these kids really ruined me feeling good. They really trashed it. I said, all right. So cool. Let's openly admit and just wish right here. Let's say it. I wish that my friends didn't treat me like that. I wish my friends wouldn't have made fun of me like that, because low-key, that really hurt my feelings a lot. She goes, all right. And I said, write it down. Write this down, y'all. If you're checking this podcast out, write this down right now. W, wish it was different. Right? Done. Because you do wish it was different. No one likes feeling this way. Let's go to A. What are we going to do? So we've already, you wish things were different, but that doesn't do much for the hurt that's already there, right? When something bad happens, you don't want to really experience it anymore. You don't really want that to be on you. So I said, all right, what are we going to do next? Let's acknowledge that it hurts. Let's stop trying to pretend that everything's fine. Let's stop going into work, and when your coworkers say, hey, how are you doing? You go, good. I'm okay. Living the dream. People that say living the dream, my favorite thing in the military is when someone's really trying to get real with you and you say, oh, living the dream. Patrick Nyron, one of my favorite friends, confidants, leaders, just inspirations at my old band, would always look at me whenever I said that. He would look at anyone and be like, you know what? Nightmares are dreams too. And those aren't always fun. So think about that. It's just another tool that we use to deflect how we're feeling. But I want you to be better than that. I want you to get past that. I want you to acknowledge that it hurts. Because sometimes just acknowledging the hurt lets you process it a little bit better. I'm not saying it's going to go away, but I'm saying it's going to give you just a little bit more oomph to get through it. So we're wishing things were different. And yeah, we've said that out loud. We're now acknowledging that it hurts. Now what do we do? Now P, I need you to plan to love you for you, even with what just happened. Y'all, one of the greatest things that I've ever done in my life is said, Bobby, I love you. No matter what happens, no matter how much somebody hurts you, no matter how many words are said that make you feel bad, I love me for me. All my flaws, all my positive points, I love me. And I want you to get to that point too. So you need to plan to love you for you. So even though you're hurting, and even though what this person did really made you feel a certain type of way, you need to plan to love you. Because when you love you, nothing they do, nothing they say is really going to get in your way. You got to plan to love you. So let's just real quick right at the end, this week, here's your homework. Next time a bad situation happens, next time something that makes you feel a certain type of way, next time someone gets in your face or they make you feel awful or someone, the squad roasts you just a little bit too hard. You don't have to do this out loud. You can do it in your own private moments, but I want you to do this. I want you to wish things were different. Wish this situation hadn't happened. And that's okay. I want you to acknowledge that it hurt. I want you to acknowledge that your feelings are valid and you're allowed to feel how you're feeling. But you need to go about it in a positive manner. And P, I want you to plan to love you for you, y'all. I want you to plan how you're going to work through these feelings. I know I'm making this sound like this is a 10-second thing. This is going to be a whole day's event because you're going to go through all these things and you're going to have to work through those emotions on your own. But one day, when you actually get to the point where when these adverse situations pop up, they can just roll right off your back like, all right, squad roasted me a little too hard. Let me give you an example here, right at the end. It'd be awesome if you could just go through your day, squad roast you a little bit too hard, and you get mad about it, and just kind of brush it off and pretend everything's fine, right? Because that's what we all do, because you don't want to make anybody upset. Wouldn't it be awesome if you could just, be real with the squad and be like, hey, y'all, that was a really good roast. I got you, but I really wish y'all hadn't said that. I'm gonna be honest, low-key, that hurt my feelings a little bit. And I mean, I know y'all didn't mean it. It's not your fault. We were just having a joke, but that was a little too far, and that's a line for me if we could not cross that again, because I'm doing a lot of work on me right now, and I know that's one of my flaws, but I love me, and I love all of you for, hearing me out here, but can we not cross that boundary again? Awesome. And just pop right back into whatever y'all were saying. That quick little paragraph, that quick little monologue lets everyone know how much you value yourself and how much you value them to be honest and say, hey, here's how I'm really feeling, y'all. This is honest. This is real right here. So this week, I want you to just think about how you're doing. Be honest with yourself about how you're feeling. Acknowledge it. And I need you to love you so you can overcome all of these adverse situations that come your way. Hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you rock every single day that you can. I love you very much, and I'll catch you all in the next episode. Peace. Whew, that was another awesome episode of the StudentFyre podcast. Thank y'all for sticking around for this long, but I got a question for you. Have you ever thought about starting your own podcast? See, when I was trying to get this podcast off the ground, I had a lot of questions, like how do I record an episode? How do I get my show to apps? Like, do I have to do it individually, or can I just have one place that does everything for me? And most importantly, how do I make money from my podcast? Is that even an option? Well, honestly, y'all, your answer is Anchor. Anchor is the one-stop shop for recording, hosting, and distributing your podcast. Best of all, it is 100% free and ridiculously easy to use. And now, Anchor can match you with great sponsors that want to advertise on your podcast. Yes, you. That means you can get paid to make the podcast. You can get paid to podcast the right way. In fact, that's exactly what I'm doing right now by reading this ad. If you want to get in on this, if you want to make your podcast a reality and you want your success and your word to be a thing, man, you already know. Hop over to Anchor and give it a start. You won't regret it. Catch y'all in the next episode. Peace.
I got you.
It's coming. Are you ready to ignite the fire?
We are StudentFyre.
Oh, and by the way, that's fire with a Y.
What's going on, everyone?
Internal fire.
StudentFyre.
Young fire. Father's fire. Leadership fire.
Champion fire.
Unlocking the fire within.
Thank you all for tuning in. Let's grow.
Speak fire.
SpeakFyre.com.
StudentFyre with a Y.
We have a new episode that comes out every Monday at 4 a.m. Are you going to be up with us?
Deuces.
I am excited to bring you my new book, Trendsetter, 7 Steps to Radically Stand Out to Be the Best You. This book details my journey of coming to the United States and being excited to embrace the American culture. But unfortunately, my culture was not accepted, and I found myself being bullied as a young girl. And in this process, I decided that I wanted to disconnect from my culture to be more accepted into American culture. And through that process, I got so depressed from trying to fit in that I attempted suicide my freshman year in high school. So this book talks about the journey of what I did to become radically transformed, to be the strong woman I am today. This book is something that's really going to enable the reader to understand and embrace who they are, embrace what makes them special, and become radically transformed. Get your copy today at becomingatrendsetter.com. Again, that is becomingatrendsetter.com, or check it out at my website at aishathomas.org.